and direct is needed in 10 slides or less, and it all sounds like BS. There's no architecture or explanation on how it does my super TV. And there's also, again, no business model. So that was a little bit, but I appreciate it because I agree. Said I focus on developing the product. I don't really know how to do a pitch deck. So let's get to the pitch deck. As it is now. Okay, so this is my first slide, TV feeder, telecommunications platform of the future. So this is supposed to represent like all the,
Use the microphone.
and do I have a clock just for reference or no?
John, is there a clock?
Anyway,
I got it.
there's like, this is supposed to represent, all the intercommunications of the whole networking infrastructure. That's kind of what I'm going for. Yeah, okay, good idea. Okay, so then here I try to talk about how we have Netflix, Hulu, Disney, internet. This is supposed to show like kind of the market size and users and potential revenue of like competitors. Same with here, like computer users. So yeah, so I wanted to just try and get your advice on like how to improve this. Is there any questions like on the first couple slides?
Colors. So that's all over the place. The first page needs to be like really attention grabbing. So instead of having all that information right there, that goes last on the team, and you put the contact information. You want to have the logo like on the right top corner, and have the logo right there in every single slide. And then like don't highlight a bunch of things, only highlight important information. The colors of the pitch needs to be the same. It's a theme. Choose 3 colors and roll with it. Don't put any background colors or things like that, symbols, whatever. The images look so unprofessional. You can actually go on Canva and have graphics and kind of create like a little image out of that and kind of put that like on the side. Just kind of things of the nature. It's not about having those kind of images, but it's more like having relevant information and graphs and things like that. But we can talk about it after too.
Great, thank you. Yeah.
So I've been in your position, and I know how it is getting feedback from investors. Quick question: are you using PowerPoint? Or
Yes.
Okay, so right off the bat, you could find free templates online. Find PowerPoint templates. That's gonna really, really bootstrap things, and you're gonna have really, really nice, clean things. I forget some of the things I'm using, but if you want to come find me later, I can show you some links. They got thousands, tens of thousands, really, really nice, clean templates. Yeah.
So a venture person already knows that there are 5 billion computer users and almost 2 billion television households. They already know that. And by you putting that slide here up front, you're implying that you're going to capture some amount of that market, but you haven't yet told them what the idea is. So this doesn't mean anything. This has no power yet because they don't know why you're taking part of that market. So that comes as backup after you've introduced the idea.
Thank you. You can be next. Thank you.
If I was a Shark Tank investor person, my question to you would be like, what's preventing Netflix from just building this themselves, and therefore why do they need you around? It'd be really cool if you could build this and then sell it to someone like Netflix or Heroku or Roku or Apple TV or whatever. But what's preventing them from just building it themselves?
Thank you.
Yeah, putting all that information up front is just, it completely kills your presentation. That's stuff they already know, first of all. And it's really not the reason that they're even talking to you. They want to know what's unique about yourself. They want to know what's distinctive about you, so you stand out from all the other people who have some kind of an idea that's maybe similar to yours or not. But yeah, all the stuff about what the market size is, maybe after you establish that you can get a piece of that market, then you can tell them about how big the market is. But that would only be afterwards. So you have to tell them what your idea is, what you have found that's going to make a lot of money. Remember, that's what it's about. It's about making money. It's not about whatever it is. You know, and that's what they want to know. They want to know, how am I going to make money?
And that, my friend, is time.
All right. Well, I appreciate all your feedback, and yeah, I guess maybe I'll get a new presentation for next week. So thank you.
All right, with that said, let's get James up. James solving, I can't say that. What is that? Solving tornadoes.
Okay, this is my website. I'm James McGann. The name of the company here is Solving Tornadoes, and the goal of Solving Tornadoes is to make severe weather less severe, a method of actually mitigating severe weather. And this is my website. You can get to this website simply by going to solvingtornadoes.com. And I'd encourage you to do that. And on there, you're going to have some ways that you can get to, like the sign up over here. And I'd like you to do that and click one of these things here. And the reason I'd like you to do that is because I just got this thing up and working, and I don't have any, you'll kind of be my guinea pig a little bit. But let's go back to the opening. This is, now, I read some of this last week, so this will be a little bit repetitive for people out there. But so let me start out reading the title here. There it is. 3 breakthrough realizations that underlie the science of solving tornadoes. And number 1 is the jet streams are the engine of atmospheric flow. Having an abundance thereof, jet streams are the source of the fast-flowing, low-pressure, cool, dry air of tornadic vortices. Vortices originate from the jet stream and over the breadth of their existence constantly exhaust their flow, complementing the flow of the jet streams. This also resolves the mystery of how jet streams maintain their momentum. And number 2 is vortices are the delivery mechanism of storms. So often spanning hundreds of miles, vortices are naturally occurring conduits in that the sheaths of tornadic vortices possess genuine structural properties. This structural ability is itself a consequence of the amplification of the surface tension properties of H2O, water, under high energy wind shear conditions that specifically occur along the inner lining surface of the sheath of the tornado. where it enwraps and interacts with the dry air flow that it channels. The net effect being to preserve or maintain the shear therein. And then we move on to number 3. And this says the principles of hydraulics are instrumental. So moving at the speed of sound, the low pressure energy of storms moves in the opposite direction of the flow. So it usually comes from the northeast to the southwest. And it in concordance with the principles of hydraulics, meaning that it can actually use the vortice itself as a means of sending energy, low pressure pulses of energy at very high speed, literally the speed of sound. Consequently, the transfer of energetic low pressure to the location of a storm is highly dependent on the sealed isolation of the flow. That's the important part there, because that reveals the vulnerability of these vortices in that they require a seal. And so anything that could break that seal, you could look at it as being like popping a tornado. And obviously, if you can pop a tornado, you're popping the thing that delivers the low pressure energy to the location of the storm. And so that's my presentation. And I guess we can move on to see if anybody has any questions.
Do you have a way to pop them?
Yes. Yes, I do have a way. Now, I use the analogy of popping in comparison to a bubble, you know, because both a bubble and the vortices are comprised of surface tension of one form or another. However, the surface tension on a vortice is very active. It's very aggressive, and it's very aggressive about surrounding its flow. And so, yeah, it's aggressive about surrounding its flow. So, yes, I do have a way of doing it, but it's not going to be by sticking a needle in it or anything like that. It's going to be much more aggressive. It's going to, actually, the idea is to breach it with a great big giant piece of plastic and to isolate it long enough, and that hopefully it will self-destruct after that. That's the idea, but it's just a theory right now.
Right. Any more questions? All right, James. Perfect. Thank you. Next speaker, we have Anthony coming up, Ageless AI. Thank you. With that said, just a little quick promotion for Ultimate Game Night tomorrow night. Make sure you guys come on by, especially for those of you watching on the live stream on YouTube. We would like to have you guys come out and hang out with the community out here. We're going to have a lot of people hanging out. There's going to be a lot of games, a lot of retro games. Actually, while Anthony sets up here, let's see if I can pull up the meetup real quick. It should be right underneath there. Get ready for an Ultimate Game Night, where the game extravaganza takes center stage. Join us for an unforgettable evening filled with diverse gaming experience. Dive into epic adventures and thrilling virtual reality games in the classroom. Take on the ping pong challenge and relive the nostalgia with classic video games. But that's not all. Indie game developers and okay, my time's up. Thank you guys for listening.
Hey, how's everyone doing tonight? Ooh, tough crowd. Maybe I should do some Python jokes or something. I used to have some good jokes. I don't remember off the top of my head anymore. Oh, P and I did a joke outside in the parking lot, right? How did it go again? Why do I talk Python? Who talks Python? I forgot how to start. It was something with like Parseltongue and Harry Potter or something, but whatever. Damn, I have to look at my jokes later. Okay, anyway. So I was here a couple weeks ago. I'm the founder of Ageless AI. I'm Anthony Moose, and did a little bit of an introduction about myself and I did some demo about this ocular analysis stuff. I won't go through that real quick, but for folks who didn't see it, it's just like a blinking frequency thing. And just to make things clear, everything that we're doing around ocular analysis, which we're really fascinated in for understanding rare brain disorders, this is all in research and development, okay? So we got numerous things that we're developing in parallel. The ocular stuff is, years away. We have to collect tons of patient data sets and train the ML. So we had some good questions about that. Just want to be very, very clear. That's, that's still in the woodworks. The two primary products that we are rolling out at this stage, one of them is a stroke rehab platform, and another is a Parkinson's chronic care management platform. Today I'm going to be talking about the stroke rehab platform and do a bit of a demo. But before that, I'd like to do a bit of a story. So over here, who knows biology here? Anyone know biology? For those who don't know biology, you should stand up and say, wave to everyone. Biology is awesome. We go back. And, pre-COVID, he would always invite me to cool stuff. And it was in 2019, we went over to Stanford for the Health Plus Plus hackathon. And I was really fortunate to be a judge over there and got to judge a number of bright students from all over the world, dozens and dozens of them. And there was this one group I fell in love with who were primarily composed between Stanford and Berkeley students. This one individual was a stroke survivor. She was at the Haas Business School. She was about 30 years old, about my age, so it's kind of scary. Stroke could happen to anyone at any moment, so be wise about your lifestyle. So we were developing this application at Donner Lab 4 years ago in research and development. And it was essentially a remote stroke rehab platform. She herself said that if this technology was readily available, it would have helped her stroke recovery. I'm going to see if I can do a bit of a demo, but just by show of hands, who here is familiar with stroke? Sure most people are. And who has a family or friend that has been afflicted with stroke? And okay, so you might know how challenging it is, especially during the rehab time. Depending where you are in the world, the average stroke survivor waits about 5 weeks for their first physiotherapy appointment, and that's horrible. We can't tackle all of these stroke victims, but we can definitely tackle the intermediate to low level stroke victims. So, imagine half of your body's paralyzed, right? If you talk to any expert, you have to start the motion right away. That gap of 1 day, 1 week really, really affects your recovery. So with our platform, you're able to do the recovery immediately. Your physical therapist, your neurologist will set up the modules, and you're going to be doing these incrementally. You just set up a laptop, iPad, iPhone, whatever, and you start doing the movements. So imagine, half my body's paralyzed. This side is affected. Those incremental movements will add up over time. And so the clinicians will be able to track, the data, or their neurophysiotherapists, neurologists. They can kind of see who is falling behind. If they want to talk to a certain individual. It's just, this is a holistic platform. Again, it's remote-based medicine, remote patient monitoring. If this is fascinating for anyone, I would love to talk to you, especially if it's close to your heart with a family or friend. And again, this is something that can happen to anyone. We are raising capital. I've closed pre-seed, and we're raising seed capital right now. So thank you all.
Hey, sorry, technical question for you.
Oh, yeah.
So the demo that you're showing, is that running client side or server side for the webcam, and you're showing like different points on the body?
It's real-time browser, TensorFlow.js.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
right, Anthony. Thank you. Bauti. Sube. Sube. Welcome. And do us a favor, Bauti. Just introduce yourself, a little bit
Hello.
of your background.
How are you? My name is Bautista. I'm from Argentina. The first thing I want to know is how many that are here have been ever in Argentina. Please raise your hand. And South America? Okay, but someone take down his hand. Took down his hand. Okay. Today I will talk you about a project that I did when I was 18, and that is the one that I'm proudest of, and it's called Sube. Maybe you know when you take a bus here, I don't know how does it work, but in Argentina, before I did this project, people had to pay themselves with cash every time they got into. And when I was at high school, we realized that there was a possibility to improve it really big. And we did this card that's an NFC card that allows you to put credit, and it's like a prepaid credit card where you can tap a machine and then you pay each travel that you're gonna do. And the reason that I wanted to came here and to show it is, first of all, to show the impact that the decision may have from someone who's in the high school. Because when I was at high school and I decided to do this project, most of the people have a laugh about me and said that it was like stupid to think that I could dream even something so big. And nowadays, every day that happens, there are 10 million transactions that are done with the Sube. And yeah, it's like a possibility to make people open their minds and to see in a different way when someone from high school tells you about a project that he's dreaming. That's it. Thank you.
Is it blockchain based? Questions?
I forgot the question part.
Well, I know you, so this is not a question I don't know the answer for, but I think it's interesting. Did you raise money? Like, can you talk about that, like your experience with that? Because I think your case was special and interesting. So, I don't know, I think it might be of interest.
Yeah, like when you talk about raising money, many people think about private equity, and this situation is different because we started the project in the high school, and it was a public high school. So after we did some MVP, we went to the government, and then we were able to grow it there, like in a way of making high impact projects from the government, not always from the private side. Thank you for the question. Any other question, please? Yeah.
Were you able to retain some ownership in this company that runs it, and are you still involved now?
Oh, that's a very good question. You know, like the entrepreneurs, sometimes they think about the economic impact, but in this case, I'm most satisfied because of the impact in everyday life of the people. So unluckily, I have no money because of this project, but I have the gratefulness about being able to create it from scratch. So I didn't perceive any money rather than the salary I got while working with the government. But yeah, I think the most important thing for which we come to the world is to make it better, and knowing that I contributed to making a better world for the Argentinian is the best way to get paid.
Awesome, Belty. Thank you. That's Sube and Belty.
Thank you.
All right, number 5.
Okay,
I can't.
this is the card.
There it is.
Sube.
Number 5. I'm not. I don't know what number 5 is. I apologize. I can't read that. Who's number 5? Okay. Thank you, come on out. No problem. You want to grab that microphone there?
Hello, testing. Hi, my name is Cole. I'm a rising sophomore at Stanford University, and just wanted to shout out, first of all, my great friends Lichu, Balti, and Manu, who will actually be giving a talk after me. And I wanted to not talk about a project necessarily, but I'd like to share with you why you should join the Stanford Magic Club, being in this area. So I'm a computer science major at Stanford, but before I was one of the top teenage magicians. So magic and computer science have a lot in common. First, everything starts with an idea. You create that idea, and then you work backwards to make the idea become true. So I'd like to show you one of the first tricks that I created. Let's see. Blockchain John. With me, I have a deck of playing cards, and in a moment, we're just going to select a playing card. Okay? Just going to touch any playing card. Right there. Okay, right there. Just actually show you. Show the camera. We'll show the camera. Okay, we'll show YouTube. And we'll show this one as well. Okay. We'll take this card. This is actually not my deck of playing cards. This is your deck of playing cards. Wanna look? You get that corner. It's melting. Yeah. And we can actually flick it, and it lands right behind you, Balaji. Check under that card box right there. I'm going to share with you tonight a trick that will allow you to connect with anyone. And in order to do so, we need 10 people. So quickly, Balaji, come onto stage. And then we need some more people. Just 10 people. Everybody. Okay. Okay, awesome. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5 people here, 5 people here. And I might go over time, but promise me. Or I promise you that this will be worth it. So 4 people, we need 5. Okay.
Keep the camera clear.
Keep the camera clear. Okay, so why don't we do this so the camera? Okay, ready?
The online people want to see.
What's gonna happen is this. Every single one of you in a moment are gonna select playing cards. I'm gonna try to find them in different ways. And this doesn't occur. Usually a magician has someone select one playing card and they find it. That's difficult enough, but we'll do 10. Because, that's just because it's crazy. Okay, what's your name? Jim. Jim. So you stop whenever. Okay, yeah. Right there? Okay, go and take a playing card. Take a playing card. Take a playing card. Lichu, take a playing card. Manu, take a playing card. Bonnie, thank you. Take a playing card. Take a playing card. Take a playing card. And take a playing yeah, sure, take a playing card. Yeah. Okay, so everybody memorize their playing cards. Okay? Yeah. And we'll just lose your playing card back in the deck. Okay, awesome. We'll shuffle. Shuffle. And we'll place your card back.
Can I put it anywhere else?
Sure, you can place it anywhere. It just makes it go faster if we. Okay. Yeah, awesome. We'll shuffle. Shuffle. Okay. Yeah. We'll place your card back. Place your card back, Lichu.
Yes, sir.
Okay. We'll place your card back, Manu.
Okay.
We'll shuffle. Shuffle like this. Okay. We'll place your card back, Balti. We'll place your card back, Peter. Promise me. Alright, I promise you, this will be worth it. Okay. Place it back. Nice talk, by the way. Okay, place your card back. And finally, what's your name?
Giovanni.
Giovanni.
Yes.
Well, Giovanni and 9 other people selected playing cards from different parts of the deck. And we're going to try to find them in different ways. So the first one, nice talk on tornadoes. So for you, we'll name your playing card.
3 of diamonds.
3 of diamonds. Okay, we're going to try to find the 3 of diamonds. Watch. Tornadoes fly into the air. Okay, 1 card, 3 of diamonds. Really enjoyed your talk.
Thank you.
Okay, well, Queen of Spades.
Nope.
No? Well, we'll try again. That might have been someone else's card. Okay.
Maybe.
Ten of spades.
Nope.
No? But name your playing card.
Ooh, do you have it right now? I want to see it. Yep.
Ace of
there
diamonds. Okay, and you selected a playing card, right?
Nice. Well done.
Yes. Do you want me to say it?
Say it out loud. Hold these cards.
Queen of spades.
Queen of spades. Everybody watch. The space in between the notes that creates the music. Yeah, so.
Wow.
Hey, Leecher, for you, I'll find a playing card behind, like, with just one hand. Name it out loud.
Seven of diamonds.
Seven of diamonds, but not this hand. It's this hand. Okay.
I don't know what is it called, but
Manu, just say stop.
it's the axis. Stop.
Right there.
Yeah.
It's always whatever you name, it will be it.
The axe of travel, I think.
Ace of treble.
Whoa.
Okay. Okay, we got some more. Whoa, that's not your playing card, Bati, but you can find it like so. Right here, name your playing card.
Seven of hearts.
Seven of hearts, seven of hearts. And since we're running out of time here, let's see. Let's see. Name your playing card, Peter.
Four of clubs.
Four of clubs, that's 17 cards down. Name your playing card. Four of clubs. No, not ace of spades, okay.
Spades, yeah, spades.
Spades, okay. And name your playing card? Okay, and then name.
I got no clue. Four hearts.
Four of hearts.
Yeah.
Four,
Four, yeah.
four, four, six. Okay.
Spades.
We go like this.
I think it's spades.
Now we can find. In the beginning, I told you that this was a trick to connect with anyone. Let's say I wanted to connect with you, and it was Giovanni.
Yeah, Giovanni.
Do you have your cell phone on you?
I did.
We selected different playing cards. Do you have your keypad? You have your keypad on your phone, like to enter.
Oh, like notes?
Yeah. I mean, so we shuffled. We had playing cards selected, and we found them in different ways. Name your playing card.
Three of diamonds.
Three of diamonds. Type in three.
Ace of diamonds.
Ace of diamonds. Type in one. That's a one.
Type in queen of spades.
Queen. Oh, but queen could look like a zero, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Seven of diamonds.
Seven.
Axis. Ace.
Well, I guess that's a one.
Yeah, one. Seven.
Seven.
Four.
And then we had a six. We had this was your card. 4, 6, 4.
Yeah.
Okay. Hit call.
Like, jot it all up.
No, just call. Call the
that phone number.
3, 10, 7.
1, 7, 4, 6, 4. 4, 4, 6, 4. Okay. Just call.
3 10s with 31st.
No wonder. Well, let's just see. Call. Oh, wow. Wireless caller. Oh, thank you.
Well done.
Good job. That was cool. Was there any questions by any chance? All right. It's gonna be Beetlex. Beetlex. Oh. Oh, Balaji.
Hello.
All right, guys. Let's get started here.
Hi, I'm Balaji. I'm a software engineer. Work for different companies like Intel, Cisco, those companies. And recently, I came up with an idea for the summertime. So Bay Area is work hard and play hard, like just we did play hard type. And so in that context, in summer, we go for party. So we need a certain cooling things always. To carry that, I had an idea watching a beetle bug. So based on the design, mobile vending bag I thought about. So this is for keeping beverages or cold drinks and things like that. So if you go in the flight, the flight attendant takes the cart and blocks everything. Even if you want to go to restroom, they are blocking it. So give them a mobile vending bag, which they can deliver your stuff. So even in the train and bus, it may be useful. In the bus, they don't have vending machines. They can have this. So if you go to outer space, maybe they may use for screwing up things. This may have vending slots, which they can hold certain numbered tools. They can easily reach out and grab. Even the medical doctors on foot, they can segregate the medicines without mixing up. So that is another aspect of this mobile vending bag. And most of us working remotely, or hope we are working remotely with your girlfriends. So that's also useful for getting their headphone, not anything else. So this is kind of a design. I got it from the beetle bug. So that is my talk. Thank you. Any questions?
Questions?
Great idea. I was just curious about that bag in the drawing. Is that your actual bag, or?
This one, I just gave the design to Midjourney. It designed it. It's a AI picture generator.
Oh, an AI designed it. Wow,
Yeah.
that's impressive. Thank you.
Questions for Balaji? Want him back? Here you go.
Was it Midjourney or?
Midjourney, yeah.
Okay. Just making sure it was Midjourney.
All right, one question, one more, and then we're gonna move on.
So if I'm an astronaut and I want a nice cold beverage and I'm floating out in outer space, do I have to take my helmet off? Take my helmet off? How do I drink something cold in space?
Oh, this is for not for. This is for tools they can keep. I mean,
It's a toolkit. Oh, sorry.
toolkit,
Sorry,
yeah.
I missed that slide. That's cool. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Balaji.
Thank you.
Next speaker, we have Bello. Manu. Bello pitch.
Could I share my screen?
My
phone in the TV?
All right, let's do the next speaker, and we'll come back to Manu. Next speaker is Connor. Connor, open ownership.
Hi, I'm Connor, and I'm an ex-Googler, and I've been showing my AI startup. I've been showing demos of my AI startup progress from time to time here, but today I want to talk about something different. and I don't really have a demo or slides. I just want to start a conversation. So basically, when making software, there are two sort of ways to do it. You have a for-profit company. So this is a sort of a top-down system where most of the contributors lack ownership in the product. They lack ownership in their time. Things tend to be slow, political, stupid. I think we've all been there. There's a second option, open source. And of course, the downsides of open source are contributors aren't usually compensated well for the time they've spent, and often end up doing free work for others to profit off of. So that's what I'm talking about today, a new option, which is open ownership. And the idea here is to sort of build a bridge between the two. So it would be a for-profit company where the contributors are compensated for work with only shares in the company by the hours they work. So somebody could come along and just contribute a small, a fix for a bug, or a feature that they particularly want in the project, and they would take some ownership, and presumably they could earn dividends or sell the shares back to the company, or basically just get fairly compensated. And of course, day-to-day operations would be run by the votes by the shareholders, so it would be a democratically run company. And finally, I guess sort of a key thing for funding, some shares of the company would be reserved to sell to VCs, but it would be less than the majority of the shares. So that's the sort of the rule set, and I've actually created an agreement on GitHub. So if you're interested, you can come have a look at that. Or if you're just interested, you can come talk to me about it after the presentations. So I guess I'll turn to you guys for questions, or if you have comments, if you've heard about this, if you've heard other people doing this, because it's hardly, it's I think probably people have thought of this before me, but yeah, I'm looking for input, questions.
All right, thank you, Connor. Here you go.
I do got a question. It's a pretty cool idea. The thing with having that kind of structure and a lot of people having a lot of, like the cap table, essentially. When you fundraise, investors don't want to see a lot of people in there. So one thing I would suggest you to do is the way We Founder works is that they create an LLC and they host everybody who puts in a little bit of money. They put them into an LLC and they distribute the ownership that way. Are you familiar with crowdfunding?
I'm not familiar with a crowdfunding where you can sell shares, no.
No, what we should look into We Founder, the way they work is everybody, if you put in like $200 in the company, they add you into part of the LLC, and then once the company IPOs or whatever happens, sells, you're gonna get your money back distributed that way. So the ownership is placed through that. The second thing is gonna be like be careful with like the IP of the company. So try to find a way to keep that as private as possible. Maybe have like IPAs, I think is what it's called. The IPA, the non-disclosure type of thing, but
right, NDA, yeah.
Yeah, that's NDA. Well, NDA is not really a big thing. Is IPAs, but
yeah, certainly keeping IP private is a concern, but of course, compared to open ownership, the code would be licensed so that only the company would be able to use it. So there would be some piracy, but major customers probably wouldn't risk doing that because they could get a big lawsuit. Yeah, it could be startups. Yeah, basically.
All right, any more questions? One question over here.
Yeah, I really like your concept. My question is basically, how do you assign the ownership to the individual contributors I know you said it's based off like the percentage that they work, but like, just is there an actual way you like allocate that? Like,
Yeah, so it would depend on what kind of work they're doing, but if say it was a code contribution, you know, they would say how many hours they worked in their pull request. We get the pull request submitted, and then they would then get those shares. I would like for there to be a tool to do it that will just sort of automatically, you know, create the document where they're assigned the shares, but, you know, I mean, there'd be some administrative overhead until that was made, where people would have to actually assign the shares manually based on those pull requests that were pulled into the code base.
All right, thank you, Connor. Next speaker, let's now go back to Manu.
Oh, that's Crunchbase. Yeah, he's a. It's a spoiler. No problem. Well, I'm Manu from Argentina. I'm 24, and at my 20s, I built a $30 million company there, and that is called Velo. Uh, Let me bring you more context. In Argentina, it's illegal to buy dollars, and the inflation rate is hitting 140% year by year. So if you have $1 today, the next year it values more or less a half of the value that values today. So on top of that, you can buy dollars legal. So I built a company that allows you to buy USDC, USDT, and all the stable coins legal and use it in your day-by-day with this card that is called Velo. This is a wallet. And let me show you. That's the card. And we raised $3 million last year. But for some differences with my co-founders, I left the company and I'm here looking for the next step because I think that I solved that problem already. So I'm looking for the next big challenge in my career. And that's it. Not so much. Thank you.
Questions?
Let me put the wallpaper for the questions.
Hello. Which was the hardest challenge that you faced while creating this company?
Sorry, the biggest challenge?
Yeah.
The regulation. Yeah, in Argentina, the regulation changes every day. Someday, the president of the central bank wakes up and says, "Okay, the regulation is that now, and you need to change all your legal things to complain with that." So yeah, it's a big challenge, but I don't know, we solve it. Yeah. It's part of the rules, right? If you are making a fintech in the TradFi world, you need to comply the regulations.
One more question.
Congratulations on creating a startup, and
thank you.
Sounds really good. I just thought you could maybe elaborate on. You said you're looking for your next step. So could you elaborate on what you kind of like your expertise, your skills are that you want to contribute? Like.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't talk too much about that. I'm a developer. I'm a full stack developer, and I'm not so deep tech right now because I focus on build products and learn all that is needed to build a product. So my career, I talked yet. I started at 20s, but in my 12, I built a game. In my 40, I built another thing. So I'm a dev, like coding things. And I'm looking for my next step. I don't know what it is, but it's in tech. And maybe create a new startup or joining a team to maximize more learning.
Wow. Wow. Thank you, Manu.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. YouTube, keep an eye on this guy. This guy's going to make it. He's going to make it big. All right, next speaker. Who do we have? We have Jorge. Jorge. Tourism? Is that what it? Tourism.
Where is the? Okay. Well, I am glad today is a lot of people from everywhere. Who is from the Silicon Valley or from California? How many people is here? Oh, a lot of people is from Argentina, from other places, Spain. That's great. I love it. One of the things I has been looking, I moved here in 2005, and a lot of times people were asking me, I want to visit the Silicon Valley. And about 2010 or something like that, with some friends, we start talking, well, why we don't organize tours to bring people from other places to Silicon Valley. And it was fantastic. A lot of people start to say, hey, I want to visit the Silicon Valley. And I found that there is a special sector that is what is innotourism? Innotourism is when the people travel to learn about innovation. When you go, I'm going to get back into that one. When you go to Disneyland, you take a picture with Mickey Mouse. When you go to other places like Eiffel Tower, Paris, you take a picture with. But when you come here, one of the dreams of the people is how to take a picture in Stanford or with the Android characters, or going into Facebook and take a picture with the like that is not anymore there. And they return and put that into their office. And when they say to the people, hey, I went to Silicon Valley, and what did you did? And they show the pictures. What is the value of really being here in Silicon Valley as a tourist? You really want to have the experience of visiting a place to learn about innovation? How many of you dream? How many of you has been inside of the space, the headquarters of Intel? Apple. It's two persons here. And maybe you work for Apple, and the other one, you work also for Apple or not? Eh? Yeah, that's the only way that you can get in there. And your dream, and I'm surprised about that because was a lot of people that came in that trips to Silicon Valley, and they dream to go to Facebook, Google, Apple, all that companies. And one of the things I discussed with one of the visitors, we were walking into Google, and they say, okay, if we come here, we see how the people develop great projects, we go back into our place, and we can replicate it. Do you believe it that after walking inside the Google building, the Apple building, you are able to create a new Apple? No, that's no way of that. And in that sense, it's a place to learn, but how you learn that? You learn talking with persons that work in that place, and it's easy to talk with the persons that create the things. When you get into Google, that is 100,000 people, Apple has about the same amount of people, it's really a group of people that knows about innovation, and there is a lot of people that follows the innovation that is created by small groups. In that sense, what is the way to learn what happens in Silicon Valley? And for the people that come here, has been one of my challenge, how you learn about doing these things. And I say, okay, when you come here as a visitor, when you go to Louvre or you go to Disneyland, you don't need to read the history about everything. You just get into the place and enjoy the place. But when you get here, you need to have a very smart talks with people and know how to ask things. One of the challenges, how many of you has friends that come in, you that are from other places, you can hear how many questions do you have ready. I did an exercise with one group of about 50 people and say, okay, we were in Stanford, we were chatting with the professor that was the advisor of the Google Guides, and say, okay, what are the questions that you are going to ask him about how you create something like Google? And what's amazing, because from the 50 people, just one of them has questions. You bring that questions, you need to have an interest to really talk with the people. If somebody approach you here and say, hey, it's nice how you build your company, a lot of people will be happy to talk with you. The people like the people that Anthony earlier today described about doing his company, that's something that needs to be done. How you generate that as a visitor, how you generate that as a guest. You need to have a way to really think about how to do innovation and innotourism. And one of the things I started, I have been taking a course and it's called Small Bets, and they say how you challenge yourself to do an experiment of sharing, making a project and show results in 2 weeks. That was last Friday, Friday. And yesterday I launched a new bet that is called innotourism.co. That is, I'm going to start writing every week a newsletter to share the experience in how people that comes to Silicon Valley learn and explore. I invite you to subscribe in that, and I invite you to have a lot of questions and ask me, what do you want to learn? Because I have been 20 years doing connections with people from all around the world, and I'm really eager how to put that in a way that people that are looking to visit the Silicon Valley learn how to make it innovation in the easy way. Thank you.
Thank you, Jorge. Questions? Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, you got one right here.
If you should say the most valuable thing about Silicon Valley, what do you think is it?
The most valuable thing is a place where you can experiment and do things. One of the interesting parts is you have an idea, a crazy idea, you create a prototype, and you get out on the streets and start showing to people, and the people start giving recommendations. And maybe you are lucky to be talking with people that are interested in to buy it, and to be a beta tester, because the people is willing to test things that are not already finished. In a lot of places, one of the big problems is you get in and you show a prototype and say, when you are ready, come to me. And when you are ready and you go to the people, what happens? They say, do you have several customers? Oh, but that has some defects. When you are ready, here the things start going. We can see that with ChatGPT was not really ready for big launch, and where is that today? That's an example. Yep.
All right, last question.
Really great idea. I really enjoy this concept of innotourism. For me, one of the inspirations to come here was the Computer History Museum. And so I'm wondering if maybe you could expand that, and that would be the headquarters of this Silicon Disneyland type idea, and maybe or if it is just touring around the different buildings, which I know there's some opportunities to do that, but you think maybe there could be a central hub to expand on that?
Well, that's a great idea, and there is a lot of opportunities. I have been talking about this subject with a lot of people. Do you know how many organizations from worldwide, from governments from all the world, are based in Silicon Valley just focusing to innovation? It's more than 60. And they, all them are looking how to bring people, do all that kind of tours, and there is hundreds of organizations that do that. Nobody knows them, and one of the things that I dislike is when they invite me to give a talk to the people, say, what do you want to learn in your trip to Silicon Valley? What do you want to achieve after a week here? And the people say, well, I want to know the places. And really, the reason why you come to Silicon Valley is to take the mindset and move it back. Rebecca, can you show the book that I wrote this book about 10 years ago, and that was the reason why I started doing that, is think like Silicon Valley, being anywhere. How we come here, grasp that value, and take that back when we go to our locations. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Jorge. All right, and thanks to all our speakers. We had a full house today. It was awesome. It was great. I just want to let you guys know that we have dark mode coming up right after this. Make sure you guys hang out. You know, if you got your laptop, your snacks, we're going to have board games, cards, video games. Ping pong table is going to be going up. Card games. We got some free beverages. And we got our local resident DJ, Love My Robot, in the house. So she's going to be spinning it up. Oh, there she is. Come on up, come on up, come on up. No? Okay, so she's right there. So we're going to be setting her stuff up, all right? All right. With that said, there's only one rule, all right? Be excellent to each other. With that said, if you guys plan on staying late, make sure you guys have proper transportation. With that said, have a good night and have fun. Oh, and make sure to come back tomorrow for Ultimate Game Night, starting at 6 p.m. to midnight. All right, we got classic video games, VR games, ping pong, poker, and yeah, make sure to RSVP on meetup.com. With that said, good night.